everyone, this is Michael out in Maui. Aloha. So today I wanted to talk about the reach back. What is the proper reach back for throwing the disc? There's two types of reach backs. Neither one's wrong. One is the old school style, and then the other is the modern style, what everybody's kind of doing now. So the old school style, when you're coming out of your X step and you're reaching back, they were saying like you should keep your head looking backwards. So you'd reach your arm back straight, and then you turn your head backwards, so you're looking that way. Then as you come through the X step, you know, you're here with the stride, and then you pull all the way back around, you know, to the front. So that's the old school style. You know, so from the rear, you know, so you're in the X step, you know, you reach back, you look all the way backwards, and then you stride, and then pull all the way back out to the front to make your throw. So that's the old school style of throwing. A lot of people have gone away from that to a more shortened version, because I think it's just timing. When you run up and you look backwards, you know, you're coming out of your X step and you reach and you look backwards, you know, it kind of throws off everything over here, you know, because you're coming back blind to where your marker is. You know, if you got your marker on the ground, you know, and you're reaching backwards, you know, and then as you come around, you try to re-sight, you know, and you just hope you ran up straight. That motion of, you know, just when it's fast, you know, you're way back here, you're not looking, and it's just the transition from here to here, just more work. You know, it's more effort to try to get your weight shifted. You know, if you're reaching way back here, you know, so you're like this, you know, now you got to shift all the, you know, your head's backwards, your arm's completely straight, you know, then you got to get that all the way back up to here to the front, you know, to make your throw. So the more modern throw, which pretty much everyone's doing now, I think I've only seen one person on a video, tournament-wise, throw old school. Only one. So the more modern way of throwing is when you come into the X step, you reach back, you keep a slight bend in the elbow. Don't go straight. Keep a slight bend. Your head either stays center or just off of center, you know, so like right here or maybe just a little over here, and you tuck this shoulder into your chin, and then your left shoulder, you know, rotates all the way up, you know, here. So you're, you know, so it's this way right here on the reach back. You know, this shoulder should be high, representing the arms up high. This shoulder should be low. And that's the modern day throw, is this. So you're here, you reach back, your chin tucks into your shoulder, you have a slight bend, and you get complete rotation of the shoulders all the way up. So you're here. And then when you rotate back to the front, you know, as you stride through, so now your head doesn't have as much to move, because all your head's got to do is push forward like that. So you can see how my head is, you know, my head is just staying with the shoulder. It's just right here. So as you stride forward, see, now that's the throw. This shoulder now comes down, and your throwing arm, you know, shoulder comes up. But there's way less movement of your head, and because the arm is shortened, it's a lot easier pulling it back into the pocket, because you want your arm to come in on a 90. So you reach back and you come in on a 90 right here, and then from the 90 is where you rotate the shoulders up. So you're here, and it rotates up, and then that's when it fires through, and you end up here. So that's just more of the modern day throw. You know, I recommend it. It's like I said, it's all about timing. So since it's more condensed, and the guys who are throwing this way, you know, some of your top throwers are pushing, you know, they're throwing well over 500 feet. So it's, you know, they don't have any problem getting distance. So anyway, so when you come in, you know, you got the X step, you reach back, tucks in, this shoulder wants to rotate all the way up. You want to get a full rotation here like this. So you reach back, then as you stride forward, this arm pulls in because it's already bent. You pull in, everything fires, this shoulder comes down, and they switch. So this just it's all about timing. The other thing is, you know, when you're talking about the timing, because when you're coming out of your stride, don't overstride. You got to find your stride. You know, your friend might have, you know, a large stride, you might have a shorter stride, but you need to find what works for you. If you overstride, you have the possibility of not getting your weight on top of that foot when you throw. You know, if you're striding way out here, and as you pull through this leg, and you haven't got your weight up here yet, it can lock you out, because your leg will go straight here. So you're here, you're overstriding, and then all of a sudden you're throwing on that stiff front leg, because you're just a fraction behind. So you're here, this leg's already down, and now it, you know, I don't have any power. It just you kind of just come up. And it's because you overstrided. Shorten your stride some. So then when you're coming out of the X step, when you come on top, so you want your head to be right on top of this foot when you throw. Every time. So, you know, my head needs to be right here when I come through. So if that means a shorter stride, because it's all that matters is you getting your body here. It's all tempo. So go with a shorter stride. See, now when I shift my weight, my head's already here. And then it's just the pull through. But if I'm out here, you know, and I can't get my head there, then I'm throwing off a stiff front leg, you know, and it's just gonna kill some of your power. So you got to kind of figure out what kind of stride works for you. And you got to practice, you know, keeping in your stride, no one else's. So once again, so when you're coming out of the X step, tuck the chin into the shoulder, bent arm, rotate completely around so your left shoulder is all the way up. And then as you stride out, you know, you need to find your stride. Where do I want it? And then when you come through, you know, your head has to be out here. And then throw. The reason, you know you have a good throw, when you have all your weight on this front foot, it can't slip. You ever notice sometimes you'll run up on the pad and your foot will slip? You'll come up and you'll stride out, and as you're trying to push that front leg, it slips on you. And the reason it's slipping is because you've overstrided. You know, you came in, say the pad's got some water on it. You know, you come in and you stride so far, now as you're transferring your weight, your foot slips. And you end up kind of throwing it just like, you know, a stiff front leg because your foot's moved. But it moved because you overstrided. So when you come in and you plant this foot and you get on top, see, now all my weight is right on top of this foot. It's not going to slip. So if you're playing and you notice your foot's slipping, you know, shorten your stride. If you're playing and the tee-off pad is wet, if the tee-off pad is wet, definitely want a shorter stride. You know, you don't want to do a big stride if the pad is actually wet where you can slip on the concrete. So anyways, just some thoughts on throwing from the reach back, the old school style of a straight arm, look backwards, which works. You just got to have really good timing compared to the more modern elbow bent, chin tucks in, get, you know, full rotation of the hips and shoulders, and then pull through. But anyways, this is Michael out in Maui. Aloha.